So we have with Numan. Numan cleared PMP with all above target today. So Numan, happy 2022 for you. So first of all,
Yeah,
Numan, how are you feeling, brother?
yeah, I'm feeling really great, and I must say that I was a bit confused as we discussed last night for the exam, and there was a lot of pressure that will it be pass, normal, what will be the score, and things like that. But now it's such a relief, and I feel really grateful.
You feel really grateful. Good to know that how do you feel, and the reason for that is very important that you became certified PMP, and becoming certified project manager professional is one of the hardest thing to do. It is considered as one of the most hardest certification, and I am extremely proud of you for you doing that in the good amount of time. I wouldn't say shortest amount. It was a nice amount, but it was not too much amount. So our program ended in December, and so you took almost 40-50 days, right?
Yeah, yeah, around that.
Around that. So how much time you did on daily basis for PMP?
Uh, Basically, the issue was that I was not able to take out time on daily basis, and that's why it took so long to me to appear in the exam for me.
So it is
I was
interesting. I love when you said too much time because has taken because we have raised the bar where people
yes,
take 3 months, 6 months, even 2 months, or even some year. We have made sure people get cleared in 15 days, 30
yeah.
days. So that's you feel that you it took you, brother. Normally, people take 6 months as a general perception to take
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
But what
Especially
you
batch
said,
14 was on fire, and all my batchmates were, clearing PMP one after the other, starting from Saurabh. And it put me under a lot of pressure that at a point in time, I was just feeling that maybe I'm the only one left behind, or there's something wrong with my preparation. So yeah, that was the thing.
yeah, you do feel something like that, being left out or thing like one or two things like that. But it was never a left out thing. It was always your own journey. So Pawan from batch 15 is saying congratulations. So
Thank you.
congratulations are in order. So let's talk about your preparation, how you prepared, and all those things.
Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to say that to all the PMP aspirants who are following your program is that the structure of the program is will guarantee your success. So you just need to follow what Saramir is trying to guide through. So at the beginning, what I just did was I took the during the classes I just made a few visual notes, and at the beginning when I was doing the 50-50 questions, I used to refer those notes, and I used to take breaks between the 50-50 questions, and I used to spend more time towards the explanation part. So I made sure that I read all the explanations to the answers that were provided in those 50-50 questions, and that way I learned a lot of things and techniques which were I wasn't able to put focus during the coaching sessions. So after that, I took a little break in between because some family commitments and some job related commitments were there, and then I started mocks after a gap of around 1 to 2 weeks. Once I started the mocks, I again did the same thing. I focused towards completing the mocks. I took my time. So it usually took 2 to 3 days for me to complete one 180 question mock. So I didn't give up. I just continued half an hour, 1 hour, whatever time I had. I just committed that time on daily basis, and I tried to complete the mocks. And meanwhile, I was also reading the explanations at the end of every mock. So once I
Mhm.
completed 4 mocks, then as suggested by you, I switched towards the 6 mocks of people process, and after that I also did 6 mocks of the random questions. For all these 18 mocks, I tried to invest a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and I tried to complete all those 18 mocks one after the other so that a momentum is created.
Don't
And
say it's
meanwhile,
18. Don't say 18 mocks. People will think you did 18 mocks of 180 question, which is
no,
totally,
no,
totally wrong. You did 60
yeah,
questions.
60
Yeah,
questions, yes, yes.
yeah.
So in the process what I did was that whenever I encountered a new term or whenever I encountered a new situation, I tried to write it down somewhere, or I tried to re recall it, or try to create a visual of that in my mind so that it is there. So once all those mocks were completed, then I did nothing, and I just it kind of enjoyed my time, and I asked you to share something with me if possible. I attended the coaching calls, the last coaching call on the Saturday, and
Yeah.
the
You were
final
also
notes that
interested.
we shared.
Yeah, you were also interested in attending the coaching call of Sunday, which
Yeah.
I specifically this is not for you. You should not attend that. Okay, that's like it was your dedication that led you this. So now let's talk about the exam a little bit. First of all,
Yes.
how much the mocks were relevant to the real exam?
I would say that the relevancy was around 75 to 80%, I would say, because and the 20% which is not relevant, I'm saying just because that in mocks we also include the questions related to you can say the calculations, the earned value management, which was not very much part of the exam today, and so basically my exam was more focused towards people, and the questions were from team, questions were from stakeholder management, communication management. There was a little part related to quality and risk. So majority was related to this, that which was related to stakeholder management, how you manage your team, how you coach your team, how you mentor your team. And even I had a very interesting question where the only best option was to fire the team member. So there was
Oh,
a question that I received. Yes.
oh, good,
So
good,
basically
good.
the question was around that. Can I explain the question?
Okay,
So
so
basically, the question was around that in that situation, the project manager had already discussed the matter with the team member, the non-performance of the team member, and then escalated it to the functional manager, and then also escalated to the sponsor. So all those steps had been done. So the next logical step was to replace the team member or to ask for replacement from the HR. So this was again a new thing which is I experienced in the exam, which was not part of the mocks normally.
okay, okay. What was your time management strategy?
I exactly followed the time management strategy as suggested by you. I just took some snacks with me, a water
Uh,
bottle, a bottle of
yeah, you
juice,
just
and
shared me
everything.
when you reached the
And
center. You took a picture and shared
yeah,
the photo of snacks with me. Yeah, I loved
yes.
it. Uh,
So I reached the center around 1 hour before the time of the exam. My time was at starting at 1 p.m. So I reached the center by 12, and I started the exam early because there was available slot. So the instructor asked me if I want to start. So I started at somewhere around 12:30. So the first 60 questions I targeted 150 minutes. I targeted I will complete by my time remaining will be 150. But when I completed the question, I had around 180 minutes remaining. So I completed the first 60 questions early. Then I took my 10 minutes break. I went out and I just took some biscuits. I just walked around, used the washroom, and then I came back. Then again, the second set I completed when the second set was completed. I had around 110 minutes remaining for the last set. So again, I took the 10 minutes break. I just relaxed, walked around, and then came for the last session. So when I completed the exam, I had 56 minutes remaining in total. So I didn't go for reviewing any question. I didn't mark any questions for review, and I tried to give due time at that very particular stage.
okay, okay. What about now? Let's talk about a little bit more exam. It was more team specific. It was how much agile, how much predictive in the exam.
Mainly the portion was agile, where even if they were not mentioning that this is agile, they were using the words like sprint is going on, iteration is going on, something like that. So major portion was towards agile or agile mindset. Then there was also a good portion from the hybrid, when they say that transition from agile to predictive to hybrid, agile or predictive to hybrid, and there was a little portion where the predictive mindset was also in the exam. But if you rank, then the majority was agile, then hybrid, then
Okay. Any questions on critical path?
mm, maybe one or two, yes. But it was like regarding the slack or float type of a thing that
Do you let me rephrase the question. Do you have to calculate the critical path?
No calculations. Basically, a few questions, one or two, where they provided you with the cost numbers, and they ask you that if the project is behind schedule or it's over budget. So two questions were around from the SPI and CPI, but you don't have to calculate. You just have to estimate that okay, the project is since the schedule variance is negative, the project will be behind schedule. So that kind of questions.
Ah, any formula question because you were very much worried about SPI,
Yeah,
CPI, and
yes. So
calculation.
no formula questions. Thankfully, no formula questions. There was no.
Okay.
And one interesting fact was that there was no question regarding the tools and techniques. For example, scatter diagram or statistical sampling or the quality tools. There was no question regarding that as well.
Okay. No questions regarding directly asking you tools and techniques, input,
Yes.
outputs, and
Which
things
tool
like
or
that.
technique is that? Yes.
Okay. Now let me go a little bit more specific. So apart, we have done good amount of mocks. Which mocks do you think is more relevant? Those 60-60 people questions, those 60-60 process question, and those 180 of question set. So of out of those
My feedback is that I would say that all are relevant, but the strategy should be the 180 question mocks really give you a fair idea of the real exam situation if you follow the correct path. So what I did was once I completed all the 60-60 questions mocks, I again went to the 180 questions mocks which were remaining. I had two remaining mocks. So I completed those two mocks as well. And what I did was I just followed the exam strategy. I completed 60 questions, paused, took 10 minutes break, then took 60 questions. So basically, what happens is that once you go through the people and process mocks, they uh, help you to focus certain areas. Like for example, when I did that, I knew that my people side is a little weak and process side is stronger. So I tried to revise the concepts of people. But the 180 questions, they basically provide you a fair idea of how the exam will come because it is a random question, then it's a complete length. So I would prefer first you should do 60-60 questions of people and process and then 60 questions of random. Then you should move towards 180 questions. So you have a fair idea how things will work. And it will help you, keep up the pace. Because if you start with 180 questions, at times you get demotivated because it takes 4 hours to complete 180 questions when you are starting the mock. So 60
but
questions, it helps you achieve early.
yeah, but in your opinion, you should do all of those. That is
Yes, yes,
important.
yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Mocks are the most important.
I'm always thinking to apply Pareto somehow. So I was kind of getting more information. If some of them is not important, I can eliminate them. So
No, no,
I'm
no. I
always
think mocks are the most important part of your program. It really helps to identify how the real exam environment is, and it helps you to apply critical thinking and time management. Because no matter how much theory you read, it's at the end of the day, it's the scenario based questions.
yeah. It's the scenario based question that we have to work on. It's the scenario based question that we have to move towards. There is no doubt in that. People watching this video, they can ask the question in the chat box, and we have Numan, a certified PMP, who actually cleared PMP today, and we'll be more than happy to answer questions from them. Okay, any questions related to compliance? Numan, questions? Any question related to compliance?
Compliance, I would say, I exactly don't remember. Can you please elaborate what do you mean by compliance?
Compliance, there was a topic in business environment. The first topic was governance, and then health and safety compliance, quality compliance, and things like that.
Yes, there were a few questions where they say that government regulation policy has just been announced, and how will what steps do you need to take to implement those or to comply with the regulations? So there were a few questions around that topic.
Mm. Okay, okay,
There was
that's
also a question regarding the follow the sun model as well.
yeah. We have discussed the follow the sun model. You see, I really like this thing about PMP. They take one topic and they do ask the question about that, like follow the sun model. Before that, it was MBTI. Were there any question about MBTI?
No, no, there was a question.
Okay. So what about let's break down the exam a little bit more and go into in depth of that. Now, the most important topic in the PMP was team topic. Can I say that?
Yes, yes, yeah, definitely.
In team topic, there are few topics that are combination of it. Virtual team, emotional intelligence, conflict management, training of team members, getting the information, mentoring. So, what was most important among these?
I would say conflict resolution was one area. There were around 5 to 6 questions, or maybe more than that, from conflict resolution. One way or the other, they were testing this. Second thing was they were giving you situations where you had to choose that whether you go for coaching or mentoring or arrange some training for the team, or level up the resources, because most of the scenarios were that the team is new to agile, team does not have knowledge of the particular technology, or something new has been introduced, you have to. So most of the questions are directed towards that. There were questions regarding performance appraisals. There were questions regarding team motivation. How do you motivate your team? How do you favor your team in difficult times? So yes, these were the major areas: conflict resolution, training, acquiring resource, negotiations, and also rewards.
Okay, rewards and recognition and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in order to pass the PMP, do you need to know all the what is in the that plan and documents? So do you need to know about all the
I don't
documents
think
and
so. No, 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 because I didn't memorize anything, and
I'm not talking
I
about
probably.
memorizing. I'm not talking about memorizing, but at least knowing what does issue log mean, what does stakeholder register mean, what does
Yeah, you
those
should have
documents.
this information. Basically, you should understand the process, that what does stake manage stakeholder means, right? So manage stakeholder means that you need to identify stakeholders. Who is a stakeholder? When do you identify a stakeholder? What do you do after identification? What does uh, engagement of stakeholders means? What are the methods? So basically, you need to have an idea in your mind that how does manage stakeholder or manage team works. So that is how you. But as I mentioned, that in today's exam there were no questions like when you have to tell that which document needs to be updated, which process needs to be updated. There were no questions like that in today's exam. Maybe a few, 1 or 2%, but not majority of them. So but you need an understanding of the process.
You need the understanding of that, what does that thing means and how that thing can do. Okay, that's
Yes.
an interesting thing. So anything else you would like to add into your journey? And let me
Mainly I
put it this
would.
way, your final advice for PMP aspirants.
Yes, I would like to add a few things. First of all, don't be demotivated at any point in time, because with this PMP program, you will have a different type of people with you, your batchmates. There will be people high flying, high performing individuals who will pass the PMP in 1 week or 2 weeks. So don't get that pressure, and follow your pace, whatever pace you have. Consistency is the key, as you say. Consistency is the key. Just try to devote half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you can, and take your time. So this is the first advice. And have faith. This program is designed, I think it is the flawless program, and with with the specific special attention by Amir, you will definitely pass the exam. He will not let you until you pass the exam. So don't take tension on that front.
So did
So
you
this is
like
one
the
advice.
did you like the continuous follow up?
Yes, definitely. This is, I would say that there are two key aspects of me, especially me passing this exam. Number one, your consistent follow up, and number two, your servant leader mindset. Like you try to remove impediments, you try to facilitate, you try to provide. You provided with me with the exact amount of resources, whatever I needed. I messaged you the last night that I am very confused and I don't know what to do and what to look at. And you just sent me three documents and I went through that. And it really helped me, to calm my nerves and to, regain my confidence back. So, one advice is that. Secondly, on the examination front, I would say that selection of the center is very important. Try to select a center which is near your house. Visit the center before the exam and track the exact location and try to reach it before time. And do watch the introduction. It really helps. There are certain tools which I didn't know, and when I looked at the examination, the introduction, I utilized those tools. There was a highlighting tool in the software. There was a strike through tool in the software. I utilize them to mark the keywords and exact things. So you should do that and utilize your breaks. It really
Yes,
helps. Utilize
yes,
your breaks and don't take tension. Just take your 10 minutes breaks, whatever the two breaks, and relax yourself, calm down, and you will easily
yes,
pass the thing.
yes, yes. Did the last night call help? The
Yes,
last
it
night call.
really helped. Yes, it really helped me, and the call and the messages, the follow up, it really helped.
Okay, thank you, Numan. Thank you very much, and best of luck for future endeavors. You know that, Usman. In the end, it my mantra: each one teach one. That you
Yes,
we have still some students from batch 14, a lot of students from batch 15, few of them in 13, and my one-to-one. You know, you are in the PMP aspirant group. I will be adding
yes,
you to another certified PMP groups today, but you are in the PMP aspirant group, and you know the questions that are keep coming. Some people need special attention, so whoever approaches you, it will be a great way to help them, and the better way would be that standing out and asking them who wants help, I can coach them, because in this way we can make better people, we can make better certified PMP. And not only this, it will also give you the context how to do things. So I highly recommend each one teach one for you.
definitely. I will try to follow, inshallah.
Thank you very much. And with that, it's the time to enjoy. Do have that Karachi biryani, or if you like something else, you have to this. This is very
Yes,
well.
yes.
Okay. With that, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amir. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Bye.